Hi, I'm Jade Hernandez, a camouflage tattoo artist and educator. I help beauty bosses effectively market their business and become the authority in their field, close more leads, and make more money. In the past 6 years, I've launched 2 successful beauty businesses to multiple 6 figures with over 100 5-star raving reviews and several media press spotlights. While most marketers will tell you to hustle and work harder for success, I'll show you how to create more value from the inside out so that you work less, make more, and truly expand and transform your business and life. This is the Beauty Expanded Podcast. Hey guys, welcome back. In this episode, I want to share some confidence hacks when you are doing video. These are going to be some real tangible advice that you can implement immediately, whether or not you're doing a reel or an introduction video for your YouTube or your website. These are some of the things that I am mindful of every time I do a video. As you guys are probably aware, videos are extremely valuable in today's marketplace. And the reason why is because videos are extremely transferable and tangible in a sense that someone can really get a good idea of your energy and your personality and who you are by watching a video and listening to you speak. It's the easiest way to connect with someone, and the algorithms on all social media networks favor people who do video because it's a lot more engaging than a photograph. If you are planning on doing more videos, here are some tips that are going to help you become more engaging and magnetic to the audience that's watching you. A couple years ago, before Reels were even a thing and TikTok was even launched, I was doing videos in the very beginning of my career. Innately, I knew that was going to be the easiest way for me to instill trust when someone was looking for an artist for their camouflage procedure. And I also knew that when it comes to video, most people are very uncomfortable doing video because they don't like the way that they sound, they don't like the way that they look. And so I knew doing video was going to put me 10 steps ahead of my competitors, and I was right in making that decision. Over time, video has become really easy for me, but it didn't always start off that way. And to be fully transparent with you guys, I still mess up. So every time I do a video, even though I may look like I'm comfortable in front of the camera, I still take 3 or 5 takes before I end up posting a video that covers the bullet points that I want it to. Even my podcast episodes, there's editing that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of gaps. I don't have a script. I wing it. And sometimes when I listen back on my episodes, I think I could have explained that better, or I could have given a better example. But I still publish my episodes. I still post my videos, even when they aren't 100% perfect, because there is no such thing as perfection. As long as 70% of the content is there, then I post it, because the time that I'm going to waste trying to perfect it is only going to exhaust me and exert more energy to the point where I might not even post it because it's not perfect. So instead of even giving myself that out, I post something or publish it. As long as it's 70%, it's perfect for me. So when I do video, one of the ways that you can begin to engage your audience immediately, because you really only have 2 seconds, maybe even 1 second to capture their attention. An easy way to capture someone's attention is to enter in the video with movement. Instead of just standing there in front of the frame and saying, "Hi, my name is Jade," I can literally walk into the frame, or I can pop into the frame, or I can record myself with movement. So that first few seconds that someone is watching that video is already more engaging than if they were to just see you on film. I would play around with that. Have fun talking to the camera while you're walking into your studio or while you're walking down the hall. Have fun literally walking into the frame of the camera lens instead of being frozen in one posture. The other thing I would think about is having a great backdrop. Something that is aesthetically pleasing. It can be even an exotic destination, or, in our studio, we have wallpaper. We have all these different backdrops that we can use. You want to be sure that the background is interesting as well and pleasing to the eye. The other thing to keep in mind of is lighting. natural light is always the best. But if you don't have that natural light, if you don't have those windows, being able to use ring lights and just making sure that it's brighter and that the room is lit in a bright way. Overexposure is probably better than underexposure. Those, again, are going to be those things that are going to be aesthetically pleasing to a viewer's eye in a way that they're not even aware of. The other thing to keep in mind of is when you start your video, I would immediately start it with a smile on your face and I would end it with a smile on your face. It's kind of funny, but resting bitch face is a real thing. And I do see people starting off the video where they have a very blank expression on their face. And that is not going to capture the viewer's attention. And you have to realize that energy is transferable. So same thing, when you are picking up the phone, are you picking up the phone saying hello? Or are you picking up the phone with a smile on your face saying hello? That is such a minute difference, but it's so powerful when it comes to being able to transfer that approachability and warmth to that viewer. You have to imagine that this viewer is the first time that they've ever come in contact with you, that they're ever in your presence. And because that energy is transferable through the screen, you want to be sure that you come off friendly, welcoming, knowledgeable, competent. And if you enter in that screen with a blank face, or even worse, a facial expression that looks like you're bored or that you're not interested or that you're unapproachable, standoffish, that's not going to work in your favor. So I immediately always enter in and end the video with a smile on my face. The other thing you want to keep in mind of is the projection of your voice. I naturally have a soft voice. And when I do video, I purposely project my voice and I also increase and hype up my energy. Even as you're listening to this right now, I am expanding my energy and I'm hyping it up because naturally I'm a very chill, relaxed person. And I want to be sure that if I'm going to transfer energy to you instead of it being stagnant, I personally have to project my voice. And it may feel a little foreign at first, but I promise you, when someone is watching the video or when you're watching the replay, it doesn't look unnatural. You want to be able to exert that energy. You want to be able to project that voice. And when I'm doing video, I'm like, hi, I'm Jade Hernandez from Studio Conceal. And that is going to be a lot more engaging than doing a video in my natural state, which is, hey, what's up? I'm Jade. When I'm doing a video, I'm purposely going to increase the volume and projection of my voice because I already know that what works in real life doesn't necessarily work for a video that's going to brand myself and to introduce who I am to someone who doesn't know me. I've just recently added music to the background of my podcast episode clips that I share on Instagram to let you guys know when a new episode has launched. Because I know my voice is softer and quieter, I will use music in the backdrop to just kind of help, again, exert a little bit more energy than how it is when you're actually listening to me and the episode itself. So adding music in the background can also help engage your audience and transfer that positive, vibrant energy through your video. Another thing to keep in mind when you're doing video is posture. What I've noticed in the past, especially when I've done news segments in the media, is I just naturally tend to lean in. When I'm in conversation with people, I love to be fully present and engaged. And how that exudes in my posture is me leaning forward. But when I've looked back on some of the past news outlets that I've done, it looks like I'm hunched over. So it looks like I actually have low confidence, and it's just not that attractive when I'm hunched over and leaning forward. It doesn't translate the same way as if you were directly in front of me and talking to me, because the camera angle is, portraying me from a different angle that shows the hunched back and leaning forward. And that's not attractive. It doesn't exude confidence. It doesn't exude competence. And so when I do video, I will literally roll back my shoulders. I'm actually doing it right now as I'm speaking to you. but I'll roll back my shoulders and I will straighten out my back to be sure that when I'm talking on camera, that everything looks professional and confident, that I'm exuding confidence in what I'm saying. That's just, something to keep mindful of. You can always video yourself as well and just see some of the mannerisms and things that you do without knowing that you do them to see if that actually portrays well on camera or not. The other thing to do as well, I would strongly suggest to always introduce who you are. So that way the viewer immediately begins to get to know you and get familiar with your name and your cadence. Those are all very important behind the scenes things that not a lot of people are aware of, but that can be powerful in building that credibility and trust to your potential viewer, who is your potential prospect. If video is really new to you and it makes you uncomfortable, I promise you, the more you do it, the more comfortable and easier it will get. And I'm not talking about you have to start doing videos for a year before you notice that difference of comfort. I began noticing it, I would say within the first 3 videos that I did. It began to be a lot easier to talk on camera. And that's the cool thing about video is you will notice those subtle improvements pretty immediately rather than having to invest 3 months, 6 months down the line before you begin to get comfortable. The other thing to keep in mind of when you do video is to make eye contact with the camera lens. When I do video shoots or photo shoots, I always pretend that it's my husband or a friend that I'm speaking to. And that helps me to really connect with the camera versus looking at the camera lens and seeing it as something extremely foreign and sterile. Just imagine that you're talking to a friend, or have the videographer, if there is one, stand behind the cameras and just simply talk to them. And that's going to help you become more familiar with being on camera. The other things you can do to help address the self-criticism and insecurity that may stem up from being on camera is to book out a day where you can knock out 1 to 3 videos and hire a professional makeup artist who can do your makeup professionally, and let them know that you're planning on doing a bunch of videos that day. They're professionals. They know how to do your makeup. They're going to know what's going to last, and they're going to make sure that they enhance your features so that you look really, really good while you're on camera. And I would invest in clothing that's going to be flattering to you. I would do all the things that are only going to help you feel better when you feel like you look better. Make sure that you're extremely efficient and productive for that day by knocking out a few videos if you're going to spend the extra money to get your hair done and your makeup done professionally. I will book a dry bar appointment the night before, so that way in the morning I show up to my makeup artist and get my makeup done. It's a small detail and it's a small investment when I think about how much more confident I feel when I'm knocking out those videos that day. I can definitely do my own makeup, but what I have found is that things always look a little bit different when you actually hire a professional, because they're taking their time to really make sure that you look great. Whereas when I'm doing my own makeup, I'm not necessarily taking as much time blending. I might not even put enough makeup on because I'm so used to doing my makeup on a daily basis that when I have someone who's doing it professionally for a video, usually that makeup is caked on, but it doesn't look caked on video. So what I've noticed is when I do makeup on myself for videos, it usually comes off a little flatter. Like I feel like I probably don't put enough makeup on when I do it myself. And it's just always nice to have someone professionally picking out colors, eyeshadows, etc., that maybe you wouldn't necessarily pick out, but are going to look great on you. It's also fun to pamper yourself, especially on a day where you're going to be doing a lot of content and putting yourself out there. If you need bullet points, if you need a script, I would get really comfortable just talking out loud and seeing how the flow of words actually sound like before you do your video. And remember, I don't know of anyone who gets it right the first time. I've been working with my videographer for a while. I think that helps because we have a relationship. I know how he works. He knows how I work. And so it makes the day a lot more comfortable when we are knocking out those videos. But sometimes it takes me 3 or 5 times to gather enough comfortability for me to finally get out the words in the correct manner that I want it to. And again, we don't make a big hassle out of it. Sometimes it does take us 5 outtakes until we finally get the video right. And that's okay. So it's just something to think about. Video is a great thing. It's monumental to your success, and it can definitely help accelerate your brand at a rapid pace if you invest your time in doing video. And so these are the small details that have really helped me, and I think they can help you. So today's episode is really just a short one. I'm excited to see you guys do your videos. If this is helpful, if you've tried it out, it works, feel free to tag me. I would love to see what you guys are working on. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to connect and help you more. If you have a question you'd like for me to answer, please send it to jade@studioconceal.com. That's JAYD@studioconceal.com, and I might highlight it on my podcast. I find what's often personal is most general. So if this episode helped you, please share it with a friend who may need the encouragement and inspiration. I'll catch you on the next one.